Wait.
Wait.
No. Leave my shirt on. Wait. No. Wait. No. Wait. No. Wait.
Verotika, Danzig's film.
No.
I'm gonna have to turn it this way a little bit
Wait.
because it gets a little hardcore there
Your
for a minute.
teacher, they're looking at me.
Don't look.
Want to talk about this bad boy? Inside is a Blu-ray, the DVD, which we're watching here right now, and the soundtrack, all the music to the movie. The tracks are listed right here.
It's a kid.
Danzig's Verotika. Glenn Danzig wrote and directed this film. There is a lot of negative, hateful opinions on this. Some critics, or people claiming to be critics, are out there saying that it's the worst movie of the year, that it's up there with The Room or Troll 2. And I'm here to say, trust me when I tell you that the opinions coming from those people are from mean-spirited people who do not like Glenn Danzig as a person, as a musician, or as a filmmaker. If you listen very carefully, now I have to be honest and say that I must have watched over 90 reviews of this movie. 89 of them were negative, hateful, mean-spirited, that took personal potshot attacks at Glenn the man himself. Now, if you didn't like this movie, that's your opinion and you're welcome to it. But don't you dare talk about this movie while at the same time talk about the man and his music and take potshots at the musician. Because all else said, Glenn Danzig is one of the greatest musicians of all time and will go down in history within the ranks of Bob Dylan, Frank Sinatra, Kiss, Elvis, okay? Glenn Danzig is very important to music. So don't you dare attack him as a musician. If you've got problems with him as a human being, if you've got problems with him as a director, that is your opinion. That's okay. I have no problem with that. You are entitled. But as a musician, don't even go there. Stop, okay? Stop talking about his movie and saying things about the man as a musician. This isn't about the musician. And this only shows anyone out there bad-mouthing him as a musician is showing their true colors, that they don't like him as a man, period. They've got some weird, negative, hateful, karmic energy going on against Danzig. And that's not cool, man. It's not cool to hate somebody so much so that you can't even be open-minded enough to appreciate some artwork when it comes along. And when I say artwork, I do mean artwork. It is not the best movie of the year. It is not the worst movie of the year. It is not the best acted movie of the year. It is not the worst acted movie of the year. It is not the best directed movie of the year, and it is not the worst directed movie of the year. It's not even close, and it's an insult to put it in the same category as something like The Room. Just because of social media making the guy that directed, Tommy, a household name now with all these wannabe filmmakers, everyone thinks they can compare somebody else's movie to The Room. The Room is simply inept, and it is so funny because of the fact that the people involved took it so seriously. It is inept There are mistakes and laughable errors going on all throughout the movie. And I've heard a lot of people say that about VEROTIKA. And that is not true. That is mean-spirited. This movie is not that bad. It does not deserve to be put into a category of terrible movies like Troll 2. There are so many worse movies out there getting so many accolades than VEROTIKA. Give it a chance. Keep an open mind, and instead of going in expecting to see some freaking Quentin Tarantino, Alfred Hitchcock masterpiece, this isn't Dario Argento, people. This is a musician who wanted to bring a labor of love to fruition. And he put some cool music to it. He has some incredible visuals, incredible use of light. Cinematography is actually really good for this type of movie. Only $1 million budget. And it has heart and soul, which is lacking from so much stuff out there. 90% of the crap on Netflix has nothing on this. This movie blows those movies away. The special effects are not that great. The acting, as I've already said, is not that great. But it's not bad either. You can look through it. Unless you're looking for things to get picky with, you can look through all of that stuff. Just like you have to look through dinosaurs walking around on an island, or people that can fly, or shoot lasers out of their eyes. You have to kind of just take a moment and set things into perspective to enjoy them. Yes, I am a huge Danzig fan. Misfits Danzig, Samhain Danzig, Danzig, and now Danzig the director. He is utilizing all the things he put together in his VEROTIKA comic book line and putting them into this movie. Look at it not as a short film, because it's not short. Look at it not as a first film. Look at it as a long music video with incredible visuals. Don't judge the visuals. Don't have an opinion about everything you see as you see it. Just take it in. There are mean-spirited people out there pointing out things like bad acting and the camera lingered for too long, and you can tell actors are looking around wondering that's all crap. I've watched this movie 3 times. Once on my big system in the living room, where I just sit back and relax and throw the Blu-ray in, crank up this THX sound, and just enjoy. And I did enjoy it that way. I did. I enjoyed this movie enough to watch it again, this time to critique it. And I watched it on DVD in this room, which is kind of my studio. And now I'm watching it a 3rd time, interacting with it. And I don't want to interact too much because I don't want to spoil it, because part of my enjoyment of this movie was that I went into it not really knowing very much because everybody ragged on it so much. God, the hate for this movie is absolutely treacherous. It's horrible. It is not worthy of being placed in the same category as The Room, which so many other people have. This is more like something to be placed into a category of Full Moon Pictures. But it has absolutely no one telling Glenn what to do. That can be a good thing or that can be a bad thing. If you are an anal retentive movie reviewer, then you are going to find lots of flaws with this movie. Lots of flaws, because that's what you want to do. If you like Danzig, if you like low-budget horror, if you like cool music and cool visuals, we're talking Danzig music, Ministry, you know what I mean? If you like that type of stuff, you're going to like this movie. You may not love it like I did, but you're going to like it. Now, my love for it is more of it's my respect for Danzig being so freaking weird and in his own universe and everything he does, he basically takes everything in so narcissistically that he's a perfect narcissist. This movie is a great example of a perfect narcissist with a little bit of money and a little bit of power making a movie. Would you have heard of this movie if Glenn's name wasn't attached to it? Yes, you would. You would be hearing about it as a pretty cool horror movie that could have been better. That's what you would hear. And it's a director to keep an eye on. And that's my way of saying I can't freaking wait to see what Glenn comes up with next. So thank you, Glenn. Keep doing what you're doing. Ignore the haters, because that's exactly what they are. They're haters. They've got a problem. This new generation does not respect you. It cannot embrace you. I am part of the generation that embraced you, respects you. You were cool to me when I met you at that comic book store. You signed my comic books. You were a cool dude. I'm 6'7". You're a lot shorter than that. And you didn't give me a Napoleon complex. You were cool. It goes to show you that everything you hear about somebody online or through the press is all bullshit. All that negativity comes from haters. Jealousy, people unwilling to give respect where respect is due. One of the greatest albums of all time, hands down, is Danzig's first album with douchebag Rick Rubin. Yes, Rick Rubin's a genius. He knows everything there is to know about music, and he's got the Midas touch. He's the Beastie Boy badass motherfucker. Now back to Verotika. We got music from Danzig, Ministry, Vial of Sin, Pink Velvet, Chlorosic, Studio 69, Switchblade Symphony. As you can see, nothing generic about the soundtrack, which is in here in a CD form. So anyway, this is my way of saying that I'm giving a positive thumbs up review for Glenn Danzig's first movie, Verotika. I enjoyed it. I could see through the flaws. The flaws weren't bad enough to give this a bad review, because the positive things are so good about it. Yes, I will be honest, just to break the ice and get through it. There will be a few moments where you will be like that. Yeah, there are a few moments like that. It's a first attempt. Give the man a break. Sit back, pretend one of your friends made it, because to me that's what Glenn Danzig is, a friend. I grew up with him. He has a lot of creativity to share. He's so weird and creative that you can't get close to him anyway. You don't have conversations with him like you do your other friends, but you every now and then get a gift from him, whether it be music or a comic book or now a movie. Okay? So just sit back and relax. If you're a Danzig fan, trust me, do it. Take the risk and just buy it. You'll be glad it's in your collection. You'll be very upset at yourself 10 years from now when it becomes a collector's item and a cult classic, because it will become a collector's item and it will become a cult classic just because Danzig's name on it. That's one thing that will happen just because his name is on it. Okay, would it become a cult classic without his name on it? Fuck yeah, it would. But it will become one even more so because Glenn's name is attached to it. Not just attached to it, but he wrote it. He directed it. He got the money for it. Nobody told him what to do. He told everybody else what to do. There are rumors that he fucking dragged the editor out of the editing room, locked the door, and did everything himself. That kind of stuff. We're talking crazy Glenn Danzig shit right here, right now. Verotika.